Hi, welcome to DLC's video tutorials. Today we are graphing linear equations. So let's start with the function. So here in the function we have f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. And then we have some numbers for x. So what is f of x? Well, believe it or not, f of x is a fancy way of saying y. So rather than saying that this is an equation, we could say this is a function. And that's where the f comes from. So this is a function, and then this x, well, it represents variable. So we have 2x plus 3. But we're given some x values, so what we could do is we could actually build a table. So we start plugging in these x values into the function, and because f of x is also a fancy way of saying y, then we could find the y value for each of these x values. Let us begin. So what happens when we plug in -5 into x? Okay, so disregard the f of x for now. To make it better, I'm just going to go ahead and cross this out. I want you to focus on 2x plus 3. So instead of 2x, we now know that x right here is -5 in this case, and then plus 3. 2 times -5 is -10. -10 plus 3 is -7. Go ahead and do the same thing for each number. Okay, so what is your y when x is -4? Well, plug it in. 2 times -4 is -8. -8 plus 3 is -5. Okay, what about -1? 2 times -1 is -2. -2 plus 3 is just 1. What about 0? This one's easy, because anything times 0 is 0, so you're just left with plus 3 or just positive 3. Okay, now 2 more. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. Okay, last one, 3. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9. So what we did is we built a table, and we could actually put this in another table that looks much cleaner, much nicer, without your math. And so we could list our x's on this side and our y's, but put them on the same line so they correspond. So here's your x, and the y that corresponds to that x is -7. For -4, the y is -5. For -1, your y is 1. For 0, we have 3. 1, 5, and 3, 9. So you built a table with x values and their corresponding y values. Now, what you just did is you put together some coordinates. So the first coordinate is -5, -7. So that's a coordinate. And then you could build your next one, -4, -5, and so on and so forth. Now let's plot them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the thickness of my pen so I can plot. Okay. So, well, I guess it helps if I could see my table. Okay. Alright, so, well, I guess it does make sense to write it down. Okay. Okay, -4, -5, -1, 1, 0, 3, 1, 5, and 3, 9. Okay. Now increase the thickness and plot my points. Okay, so first coordinate, -5, -7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. -7, so I go up. Nope, I go down, because 7's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First point. Okay. -4, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4 left because it's negative, and then 5 down because it's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, everything in this coordinate, both numbers are negative. All coordinates are negative, your x and y. Okay, third one. -1, 1. -1, and then up 1. Okay, there you go. 0, 3. 0, I don't go anywhere. I don't go right or left, but I go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me make that dot better. Okay, 1, 5. So I go right 1 and then up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3, 9. Go right 3, 1, 2, 3, up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now, you guys should see something here. They all line up. Now, what we did is we set up a table of x and y coordinates for a linear function or a linear equation, which means that when we graph the coordinates, it's going to form a line because that's what linear means. So what I could do is I could even draw a line somewhere. So let me insert a line. Let me do the arrows on both sides. Oops, didn't do this right. So no matter, trying to move my line, but it's not working. Right there. No matter what point, what coordinate we would have plotted, it would have been on this line, because what we actually did is we graphed a linear function. Okay, let me just stretch it out. Okay, that's enough with the line. Okay, now I'm going to list my domain. Let me get back my pen. Let me decrease the thickness of that. Okay, so I could write. Okay, so your domain are all your x coordinates. So if you look at your points here, and I'm glad I wrote them down. So I have -5, -4, -1, 0, 1, 3. What did I get that from? Well, I got it from here. My x coordinates. All my x coordinates make up my domain. And you enclose your domain. In algebra, we enclose it with curly brackets. Don't worry if you can't make your curly bracket perfect. Only teachers can. A lot of practice. Your range, well, if your domain are all your x coordinates, then your range will be your y coordinates. So -7, -5, 1, 3, 5, and 9. Where do I get these from? From the y coordinates, right here. And I put them in order from least to greatest. And then you enclose your range with curly brackets. Well, that's the end of our lesson. Linear functions, graphing linear functions, that is. We hope this has helped. Good luck with your studies. See you later. Bye-bye.